Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to the match preview for Liverpool against Arsenal. Am I looking forward to this game? No. Am I looking forward to facing Liverpool twice in 4 days? Definitely not. Am I happy with the record there? Definitely not. So let's just see in this preview how I'm feeling about the game. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the recent history between Liverpool and Arsenal, which hasn't been good, the all-time record between the two clubs, the recent results, and of course at the end I'm going to be telling you guys about my lineup and what my prediction would be. But just before I get into that, I've done a build-up to the match with Liverpool fans, two Liverpool fans. I'll link it up in the YouTube card right now if you want to check it out. Very great chat, ask them about Liverpool and everything you need to know. So after you watch this, you can go on and watch that. The link will also be in the description and every other link. But without further ado, let's get into the match preview for Liverpool against Arsenal. Now, as I've said, our recent record against Liverpool at Anfield is very poor. At home, I think the last 6 years they've only beaten us once, and that was in the start of the season, I think in 2016, where they beat us 4-3 at home. But at Anfield, it's terrible. Last season, I think, you know what, before I even get into the actual scorelines, I think in the last 7 games at Anfield against Liverpool, including the Carabao Cup game last season, I think they've scored 30 goals, which is not a good record. And since Klopp came, we've never won anything at Anfield. We've definitely not even gotten anything, maybe 1 point at Anfield, so it's not a good record. In total, Liverpool have beaten us 89 times, we've drawn 61, and we've beaten them in 80 games. The last result, of course, we beat them in a Community Shield, which is a good result for us, following up our victory against them at home around July, the last games in the Premier League, which I'm not surprised with. We always do well against them at home, against most top 6 teams. We do well against them at the Emirates, but away from home we struggle. Like Man U since 2006, we haven't beaten them there in the league. Chelsea since 2011, Liverpool since 2012. So it's poor records against these top teams. I'm hoping Arteta changes that. So the last time we traveled to Liverpool, 5-5 draw in the Carabao Cup, 2019, October 30th of October 2019, we drew 5-5. That just shows you we can score 5 goals at Anfield and still not win a game, because we went to penalties and they beat us on penalties. So just shows you our luck there. But the last time we traveled there in the league, at the start of last season, 24th of August 2019. I think that was our 3rd game that season. We always face Liverpool early on in the season at Anfield, and it's never good for us. In that game, we actually played well. Pepe was making his debut. He played really well. Became the first player to dribble past Van Dijk in so many games. But we still ended up losing that game. We think we dominated in terms of shots and all that in the first half, but they still scored against us and took a 1-0 lead before halftime, and they came back in the second half, and Luis had a terrible second half in that game. He gave away a silly penalty to Salah, and for the 3rd goal, he just got dribbled past so easily, and Salah scored twice, and I made it 3-0, and Torreira got a consolation goal for us in the 85th minute and got a 3-1 loss there. Torreira has also scored against them before at Anfield, but we'll come back to that. In that game, they had 25 shots. We had only 9. They had 5 on target, and we had 3 on target. For our lineup that day, we had Leno, Niles, Socrates, Luis, and Monreal, a back 4. And in midfield, we had a midfield 3, Xhaka, Guendouzi, Willock, Ceballos as the number 10, and Pepe and Aubameyang up front. So we kind of used our counter-attacking force in that game. Pepe actually got chances, Aubameyang got chances. But from that lineup, I'd probably say only Aubameyang, Ceballos, and Luis, and maybe Leno. 4 players, maybe Niles would start in that game. So maybe 4 players that were in that lineup will start in this game. So a lot of changes. The season before that, we traveled to Anfield again. The last game of the year, 2018, and we lost 5-1. We took the lead in that game, Niles 1-0. And then Firmino scored a hat-trick against us. Not the only goals Firmino scored against us. I think it's like 8 now. A lot of goals against us, both home and away. Mane also scored and Salah also scored a penalty. We always give Liverpool penalties in this game. Salah always scores. Mane always scores. Firmino always scores. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Back in the 2017 season, 2017-2018, they beat us yet again at the start of the season, this time 4-0. You can see where I'm going with this. From these 4 games I've talked about, I think it's already 20 goals for them and like only like 7 or 8 for Arsenal. Terrible. Firmino scored yet again. Salah scored yet again. Mane scored yet again, and Stiles scored yet again. So in that game, I remember we started complaining about the transfer window. Wenger was still there. Fans are really very, very mad. Why didn't he buy players? Look at us losing to Liverpool again. Big scores. Terrible. And the other one that I really remember was back in our 2013-2014 season, where we were topping the table like the whole season, and we went to Anfield and they smashed us up. Sterling, Suarez and Stiles, they scored another 5 goals against us. Of course, City went on to win that title that season. Liverpool were quite unlucky. And some other games, 4-4 back in 2009, Arshavin scoring 4 goals. The last time we got something from there was a 2-2 draw. I think it was in 2016. We also got a 3-3 there someday. Both those games they scored in the last minute, so never good games at Anfield. The last time we got a win at Anfield, Podolski was a new player, Cazorla was a new player, Giroud was a new player. So I'm just hoping that was just because we had different players and different managers, and now Arteta and the likes of Gabriel, Aubameyang, Willian can change that. Let's hope that happens. But in terms of the record at Anfield, it's poor. We hate going to Anfield, but let's see how it goes without fans and all that. So without further ado, let me get into what my lineup would be for the game. So for the lineup, as I said back in the 2019-2020 season, last season, under Emery, we played a back 4 against them at Anfield. But this time round, I'm going to stick with the formation that has been working for us really well, a back 5. This formation allows us to defend with 5 when you don't have the ball, and defend with 4 when you have the ball and attacking. And Tierney can move on the left and back. I think Tierney will be back for this one. So in goal, let me put it on screen. I'll go with Leno. The back 5, I'm going to stick with Bellerin on the right. A couple of good performances. I think Tierney back on the left side. And then for my back 3, I'm going to go with Holding, who had very good games in the Community Shield and at the Emirates last season against Liverpool, against Mane especially. Luis will be back for that. I'll start him again. And Gabriel, of course, very good debut. Was actually very good also against West Ham. So they also got rested against Gabriel got rested against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. So I'd stick them in there. And then in the middle, I'll go with Xhaka and Ceballos. And then up front, Aubameyang, Willian, and Lacazette. Now, there's also that option of starting Pepe if you're trying to counter-attack. But who would you really bring him for? Okay, you might take out Lac and bring in Pepe and start Pepe, Aubameyang, and Willian just because of pace. But we need Lacazette's hold-up play. Lacazette was rested for 90 minutes. Pepe played 90 minutes against Leicester. So all that comes, we need to talk about all that. On the bench, I'd go with Ronaldo, the new goalkeeper. Niles, Saliba, I'll have him on the bench for this one. El Nenu's been okay, especially against Liverpool in the Community Shield. Pepe, Nelson, and Nketiah. Nketiah's done very well coming in, scoring goals, scored goals against Leicester too. Nelson played very well against Leicester. Pepe was okay against Leicester. El Neni, if we need some defensive midfield cover. Saliba, another defender. Niles can cover any position. So I think this is a strong lineup. I think in what we have right now, this is a strong lineup, or this is the strongest lineup we could field. So just to run through it again: Leno, Bellerin, Holding, Luis, Gabriel, Tierney, back 6, Xhaka, Ceballos, Aubameyang, Willian, and Lacazette. The likes of Willock will miss from the matchday squad, but of course we play Liverpool again on Thursday, so they'll definitely play in that one. My prediction for the game, you know what, I'm just going to be bold. I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Arsenal 3. I know I'll look very, very dumb if we go there and we lose 5-0, but anyway, 3-2 Arsenal win. Let's go. Come on, Mikel Arteta, I trust in you. Let me know in the comment section what your prediction is, what your starting lineup would be. Who are you scared of from Liverpool most? Mane, Salah, Firmino, they've all, I think, scored more than 5 goals against us. But yeah, we play Liverpool on Monday. As I said, I did a video with the Liverpool fans, a build-up. I'll link it up in the YouTube card and in the description if you want to check that out. All my other links in the description. Thanks for watching again. Come on, you Gunners, keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.